It's no secret that base is one of the best play of this bull market. However, it comes with a cost, and this cost is a lot of scams around it. And I understand why, because scammers go where there is a lot of new people. And you can see that base had plus 20% of new users in the past 30 days. And the number of transactions is plus 300%. That represents a huge opportunity. And now that's why you should really consider trading on base. But you should also avoid the scams, because avoiding the scams is already making a lot more than just doing research. If you avoid scams, you will make money for sure. By the way, welcome on Hands on Finance, where we study what's happening on chain, because the blockchain is not so we can see all the transactions, who made money, who lost money, find the smart money, and make even more money. And the smart money sometimes end up to be us. But because it's the blockchain, it's our duty to understand the transaction and what is happening. And that's how you can detect most of the scams. So I will show you everything. And actually, you can use tools, but you can also do it without the tools if you know how to read the graphs. First, let me show you a proof that I know what I'm talking about. This is a wallet that I use on base. I did some 10x on it, a lot of bets. There were small gains, but that's normal because this one is what I use with the decentralized meme investment funds that we have in the investors boardroom. And my goal is not to take as much risk as I can, but have something safe. For example, on Sun, we did more than a 10x. And I showed it live back then when I traded on base and did more than a 10x on Sage. So I know one or two things about trading meme coins. I just wanted to show we have a positive P&L. It's true. I don't do drawings on the chart. I'm sorry. I don't think it's a good idea. But I study what's happening on the blockchain with all the transaction, all the information I have here. I'm able to know where to go or not to go. It's kind of the proof of getting late. We all have this friend that say, oh yeah, I was with this guy. And then you never see a proof. Everything seems to be an alibi. You seem like he's seeing ghost. It's no problem. I'm not ghostophobic. It's just he had to do his coming out that he likes to date ghosts. The first type of scam I want to talk about is the honeypot, because this is surely the most annoying one and the most frustrating. This is what for me looks like a honeypot. When you have a chart that doesn't make any sense, like we have a massive staggering pump here when nothing was happening before on this coin, and we reach 4 million market cap in just 1 hour, which is a bit surprising. And then we have this kind of stairs where it goes up, up, and then not much. See, all the candles are full. You don't see a tip or a bottom of the candle, not much. It's like all the candles are full like that. And I don't really like that, particularly now when I see this kind of stairs going up, a little bit down, going up, a little bit down, up, down, up, down, up, down, like that. This is not a natural move. A normal coin will have some pullbacks and then start to go back up. Particularly when you check that the Twitter is with 249 followers and no one saw the contract and the website is not even working. That's 3 red flags in one go. Now, I don't know what you're thinking for dating analogies, but it's enough for saying no. How does a honeypot work? It's you can buy the token, but you can't sell it. Only few wallets can sell it. So, for example, this token that we just saw, honeypot, no. And Go Plus security, ownership renounced, no. Has blacklist, yes. Has whitelist, no. So you don't see major things that would say, oh, okay, I'm not going in. And that's where the problem is, because now this is trending number 4 on Dex Screener, and it's kind of my duty to make you guys avoid to fall into those scams. Same as I don't want you to catch some STD or STI because you went into the wrong market to get your ladies. Or just wear protection. That's the best thing to do if you do volume. Now let's talk about a rug. A good old rug. It's one that we like. We did it live here on Hands on Finance. We like a good rug pull. Now, a lot of people were asking, is it illegal or not to do a rug pull? It depends, because you have to understand you're a liquidity provider. You provide the liquidity. You can remove the liquidity. For example, I provide the jokes. I can remove the jokes, but I'm going to leave them. So this rug pull happened just few minutes ago. We had someone that added liquidity for 9.89 Ethereum. Then few people bought in and we withdraw the liquidity at 9.9. So that's really pathetic because the win was 0.01 Ethereum. I don't think the dev became really rich. So the thing that people think, oh, but all the devs, they're making a lot of money. No, they are not. Most of the scams don't really work, but few scams are pretty well made. And honestly, now they are more and more professional. They're even more professional than the normal coins. So here we had the liquidity and then we remove the liquidity. It means we can't sell anymore because there's nothing to change in the pool. How to avoid this scam? Well, again, you could use those things, but what you want to know is if the liquidity is locked. And on base, it doesn't always show on deck screener on all the different pairs. This was a rug pull as well. You see the liquidity here, 106K. Actually, we can see that apparently a recent launch was a good inspiration for this one. We're not going to talk about it, but here I can check the liquidity pool, which is here. Okay, I click on LPs and I know who is having the liquidity pool. And now it's this address because someone removed it. But if I check for lead, for example, let me check their liquidity pool and I can see that this is this address that is owning it with 98%. And no one have control on this address. So yes, the liquidity pool is burned on this token. This is how you can know. You don't need any other tools. I want you to understand what's happening behind because you could use a bot, you could use something that would say if it's burned or not. But you being able to read is the best thing you could do. Now let's switch to our two type of scams that are a bit more secret. The first one is open source. And I want to make an announcement that in the investors boardroom, we have now a program specifically for developers and hackers where we try tons of new stuff. So if you have some good programmation knowledge, you should definitely join the investors boardroom. This person who is just joining us was scanning all the new pools created with the liquidity. So like this, we can see after analyzing the contract, if it's something with a rug pool, a honeypot or else. And we happen to see that most of the tokens created are scam tokens. Why? Because most of the people are not subscribed to Handsome Finance. So how could they know? They don't even click the notification bell. So they go in the wild like this, hunting by themselves, a tiger, and the tiger is eating them and they're like, I don't understand. I don't understand why the tiger ate me. I was ready. I was hand in my pocket, walking in the jungle like that. But yeah, this is what's happening. So if you start trading, please trade in group first. You need to understand what's happening. You need to be with people that have been doing it for a while. It's a bit of a teaching, you know? And let me talk now about the open source contract, which is a strange one that now I don't see those days because most of those scams, what happen is at some point, those token sniffers and any other tools you use, a lot of them use the same database, they will say and flag it as a scam. But for a while they don't. And what is happening is that it's like 2014 when you were with your Windows XP and you had to download the antivirus and the virus were changing and changing and changing, but you don't understand why. This is exactly that. So when it's not open source, I don't have a token to show you now because Deck Screener removed him. It means that you don't see it, but at some point the developer can use another contract to interact with it. Let me show you a case. Simple. You are dating this lady or this gentleman. And they say, I removed Bumble, I removed Tinder from my phone. You're like, okay, perfect, that's clean. But what you don't know is that they have another phone at home. And on that one, they still have those apps. So they are still using it at home on those apps. And then one day you will realize, oh, I have been tricked. This is exactly the same thing. This is the open source. But let me talk about the volume bot because this is one of my favorite new ones. And to understand this, we have to understand how you get trending on Deck Screener. I understand it because I launched few meme coins and I know what it works, and I'm always trying to reverse engineer to understand this. Now, I'm going to give you a few elements so you can start your own research and be better at this. When you check the transaction here, don't you see something strange? I see something that is crazy strange. Transaction of $0.01 and a lot of them. So when I open this transaction, what I will see, that someone is willing to pay more in fees, 1 cent in fees, to put a transaction of $0.003, not even 1 cent. Now, I know we have some manipulation on the volume here and on the transaction that are happening. So most of the people will get tricked by that. And it's quite impressive what's happening. This is transaction, and we will have bigger and smaller transaction, but it's not the only one. We have Bluff, we have Bang, that is exactly the same thing. Now, I saw that most of the scammers, I mean, we should maybe not call them scammers. I don't know, because it's our duty to see what's happening on chain and what is the contract and what is the liquidity pool doing. If we don't do our job, we are just trying to be free riders, and free riders usually pay the bill at the end, particularly in crypto. And when I see those, I linked up a few, and they were from the same addresses, the same wallet. I saw a guy, like, he created a token and called it up only, which the emoji up. And it's so funny, because it was up only because it was a honeypot. I actually bought it here with this bot on purpose because I wanted to show that we could buy but we could not sell. So he released up only and released a based a diamond. So of course your diamond ends because you can't sell. So my goal is always to try them out, because I don't care about spending a little bit of money to show that this is honeypot or this is not working. Actually, this trading bot will probably let you know soon when it's a honeypot or a scam, so you can take your precaution. And we have this saying in French, women who laugh, women half in your bed. And when I post a video about stand-up comedy, I get 3,000 views on my Instagram. But when I post a video of me literally saying nothing and just being handsome, I get 10 million views. So I guess for myself, it's the other half. And I should not make jokes in front of the ladies. But you should check out this video where I explain a bit more about how I trade meme coins, how I made multiple 10x. And because it's one of the best things you can do today in the crypto market, where you don't have BC, you don't have KOL, you don't have funds, you don't have tons of things that will take all your money. So you just have to be trading in group, be sure of what you do, and get better at it. Check out this video, and of course, don't forget one thing. Stay handsome. Ciao.